This is one video I'm very excited about. So I have here a package from Bobbin Exchange on Etsy. It is where I purchased my KickSpindle I forget how long ago. I was like a deer in headlights with that thing because I've never spun before in my life. Drop spindle seemed kind of intimidating to me and not quite what I was looking for in terms of the quantity that you could produce at a time on it. And a spinning wheel takes up a lot of space. Well, at least it's a lot of space relative to my very small house. So being that I'm tight on space, I like having something that I can sit up on the shelf and I don't have to make a designated spot for, at least making the designated spots not difficult. I finally got brave enough to try it and absolutely fell in love. I have been spinning probably collectively, if I had to throw a number on it, I'd say probably about 20 hours worth of spinning so far. And my more recent skein was eight and a half hours of spinning. And this is what I've got. And this is with my wool from my Tunis sheep. So this is just a really exciting journey for me because this is something I have been dreaming of that I shared before for years, well over a decade. And the fact that I have it in my hands, it's almost surreal. And so I have a friend of mine who is interested in learning too, and I'd love to teach her, but I'd like to be able to work side by side with her. I also was interested in doing multiple projects at a time, but with only one kick spindle and wanting to be able to change things out or even just spooling things on so I can ply without having to do a center ball ply, which honestly is what I did for this one and it turned out just fine. So it's not like it's really needed. I figured I'm going to go back to the Etsy shop and I'm going to get a few more things. I have to say I'm overall wildly impressed with the quality of the kick spindle I got before, and I am super excited with the one that's supposed to be in this box that I want to show you guys today. I had gotten the wooden one before, which you can see in my videos that I've shared on social media, the one that I used to make this hank of yarn here. And I really love it. I was very thankful that God had blessed me with some decent sales recently, both in my Etsy shop and in my craft barn. And so between the two of them, I decided to invest in another one. And that's what's in here. Look at the trauma this box endured. It says fragile, proudly made in the United States. Proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. Anyways, so well packaged. But I got this package actually yesterday. And I wanted to do an unboxing video, which means you can't just tear into it. And it's like, I didn't have the time. And actually, I didn't have the willpower because I'm in my barn since my house is chaos right now. It's just busy. And it's supposed to be pretty hot today. And that being said, up here can be kind of cool. It's in the morning, so it's not terrible right now, but it's only going to get more humid and more sticky and more... Oh, hello. Sorry, I got distracted by a card that's in the top. So I'm mad distracted. I'm sorry. I just noticed the mail ladies out there. So squirrely. What was I saying? It's gone. Oh, yeah, it was just too hot to open it yesterday. I didn't get it till the afternoon. And by that point, even the barn was just really miserably hot. So I'm doing that this morning. So opening it up, I immediately was met with a business card. Majestic Premium Electric Spinner. The only flyer made for spinners that requires no special gear-driven bobbins and no oil. I'll have to look into that. I'm interested in an electric spinner maybe someday, but it's not... I don't have a drum carder, so it takes me a long time to card the wool by hand. It's one of those things where, like, why get something that's... makes it... I don't know how to put this. Why get something that makes it super fast if I can only card so fast? Like, right, let me put it this way. If I was going to speed something up, the next thing I would invest in would be a drum carder. Because that part's really just, ugh. Probably my least favorite part of the yarn making process. And it's because I'm doing it all by hand with hand carders, which is fine. It works. And considering how fast and how much I can spin at a time and that I'm dealing with such a small quantity of wool, that's fine. The only reason I would want to invest in something like that sooner than later is to save my wrists. Something that just makes it like where I can crank and not have to sit there and now, so I got this business card about that. I'm interested, but it's definitely down the priority list. And then I got Eric is the designer of this. The receipt. It's not terrible though, to be honest. For what you get, it is a really good price. Especially considering I've discovered KickSpindle is a really nice balance between having a spinning wheel and a drop spindle. It kind of leans more towards the drop spindle in terms of size and how it functions. It definitely gives me that extra oomph of spinning power and size. So this time there is paper. Paper, paper, paper. The first time I got one, ooh, that's hiding in there. And I make sure nothing's hiding in this paper. Actually, I'm gonna fold this up nice. Last time I got a box I had bought, here's Maud! Last time I bought a KickSpindle, my first one that I have, it came with a lot of packing peanuts. And I think they're the like eco-friendly ones, the ones that can be, I can't remember exactly. But, hey sweetheart, you look so hot! Oh, Maud! This is Maud. My daughter's chicken. She comes down to look how hot you are. I know it's a hot day today. Let you down at the house when I go down. She usually follows me down to the house when I go down. And she comes in and she eats out of the chicken bucket and eats the crumbs that my kids drop on the floor. She cleans our floor up for us and then drinks from the cat's water fountain because she's spoiled, and then she eventually gets taken back up the hill to where she belongs. I don't remember what I was saying though because I got distracted by the chicken. Oh, the last time it came packed in packing peanuts. So this is a change of pace. I liked it in the packing peanuts, and also it was chaos. There were things going everywhere. So I noticed hiding in here is, wow, it's nice and big. A drop spindle. I had a drop spindle given to me before, but it didn't look like this. It felt backwards, like the hook was on the wrong side, and I don't know why. It seems pretty fun. I'm excited to try it. This was more like just so I could actually say I did it. Also for my kids to give it a try. So that is something I kind of threw in so that I could finally have one. More paper. Oh, how pretty. It's even got little shimmers hiding in there. So I got some more fiber. They gave me fiber last time and I appreciated it. I still haven't used it. This one's prettier. The last one I got was very natural colored. This one is such a pretty color. My daughter's gonna love this, I bet. And so I'm thinking of actually giving this to them to try to use with things like this. I don't exactly know what kind of fiber it is, but it's fiber for getting started. So I still have my last one and I never used it because I wanted my first time spinning to be trying to do it with my wool that I carded from my sheep, because I was terrified that I was going to get accustomed to this and then the experience would be so different. I either wouldn't like it or would struggle with I don't know. Like, it was probably a very irrational fear, to be honest. Next, I got 2 bobbins. They're pretty much 3D printed, which is really, really neat. They're really pretty. So that goes on that side. That goes on that side. And now this can go on my KickSpindle. So I've got 2 of these. And then le piece de résistance. I don't even know if I said that right. Everything survived. It looks very well considering the trauma the box endured, in spite of it saying fragile. Everything is looking great. So, hold on. Look how epic that looks. Oh, that is so cool. So here is, look how absolutely beautiful that is. Probably just gonna get it all like, there's gonna be like fingerprints and smudges that are gonna drive me nuts. You know, I'm amazed sometimes you get things out and then you're like, how did they get all that in there in the first place? And so here we have it, my next KickSpindle. I bought another one and this one is a little bit more expensive. It's so beautiful. I'm excited about this. It's very pretty. I was super torn on whether or not to get the purple or the pink. I don't know if I'm gonna have regrets. I'm funny because I always hated pink as a kid, and the older I get, the more I have an appreciation for pink. I think I made a good choice on purple here. So it's really cool. It's like the whole setup and everything is neat. You've got the ball bearings in here, which kind of help give momentum. It spools up here. And then the bobbins, I wanted a bobbin because I wanted to be able to work on one project, take that off, and start another one without, because normally I just work directly onto here. But now I have the option of working onto here, which also means that I could not just take it off, but I can also two-ply with the bobbins. All I have to do, and what I'm probably gonna have my son do, is create a stand where both of these, like with dowels, that these can both just sit on, since I have the second one here. And that way, when it's when I get done, I can just have him, I can just set them both on there and they can spool off on their own, like free spin on that little stand. Literally, I have the scrap wood and the dowels that I can do it myself. And my son loves doing that kind of stuff. So I'll have him make me a stand for these two so that I can do that. So it'll make it a little easier and make it so I can work on different fibers without having to finish one before starting another. I have a friend who's coming by. You can see I'm already getting really hot up here, and it's not the heat, it's the humidity. So I have a friend who's going to be coming over soon, and she wants to learn how to do it, and so now we can work side by side, which I am super excited about. This is just so pretty, like so pretty. Like I'm afraid to touch it because I'm just going to put fingerprints all over it. And I like that I now have a matching drop spindle too. So this is my haul from the Bobbin Exchange. It's just so pretty. I was watching the Jillian Eve channel, and she brought up KickSpindles, and she got hers from the same place. I mean, this is his design, and I was like, this is amazing. And I think what really struck me about it was the moment I saw it and I looked it up and I realized these KickSpindles, like this one was a little bit more expensive. This one was $140, basically, $139. My wooden KickSpindle was only like $105. It was even cheaper. Which for me, being that I needed something compact, but something bigger than this to make more at a time, but something that wasn't going to take up a lot of space in my house, it was a super nice balance between the two, because now it just sits up on my shelf, but it was only $100. So, you know, that's a lot cheaper than a spinning wheel for sure. And the problem with spinning wheels is I don't know them well enough to be able to source one cheap off like Marketplace, because it could be missing parts and I have no idea. Plus I've never used one. I don't have, this is very, very beginner friendly in a way that allows me to free up both my hands, because I can just use my foot to get it going and stop it. And so I feel like there's a lot more control. So for me, being a brand new spinner and having no idea what I'm doing, this ended up being, I thought I would like this and I ended up loving it. It ended up being better than I thought. So highly recommend for a first spindle of any kind. Like, you can try drop spindle. I still technically haven't tried a drop spindle yet, so I can't say attest to that, because it honestly, just the idea of having to constantly like let go and hold things up, it just, it didn't appeal to me. But this did, and this is stunning. So pretty. I think I'll take this for a test run with you right after I cool down some, because it is humid. Stupid humid.
I'm going to go more in depth with showing you how I use this and how I set it up, but just real quick, I'm creating a lead for it out of, this is just a string of cotton tied into a loop and then just put on there so that I can tuck a little bit of the wool fiber through and start letting it twist up on itself and get it started for me. I generally start by putting it on my right hand side to kick with my right foot, which gives you a clockwise spin and what I believe is a Z twist, assuming I'm not getting confused, because I find that very confusing. So I'm currently spinning in this video my Tunis wool. So this is specifically wool from Kuzu, my mama sheep that was one of my first sheep. And, you know, I'm still very new at a lot of this, but, you know, my understanding is, of course, you ply in the opposite direction. So when you want to ply and do a counterclockwise or an S twist, you would put the spindle, the kick spindle, like facing the other way and use your left foot to kick it. I'm going to switch angles here in a second so as you can see a little bit better view of what it looks like when you are kicking it and what it looks like flicking off the top, because the way this spins is by, like, I mean, it's twisting, right? And it works similarly to just a drop spindle in terms of you've got the wrap around the, I gotta really learn these terminologies. I'm like, what is that? That's like the spindle, I don't know, the stick. But you can see it flicking off of there. So you give it a kick and it twists, it flicks off the tip, and that's what gives you your twist in your fiber. Then when you're ready to, like when you've got a nice long strand and you're ready to wrap it up, you stop the spin with your foot. You push the wheel away so that you can unwrap the twist up to the top. So there I'm pulling it back. Whee! And then you kick in the same direction that you normally do to spool it on. And once it's spooled, you can pull it up towards the top and let it start flicking off again to start again, if that even makes sense. And there you can see I'm using my hand, and I'm just tucking this because when I'm walking away from it, that's what I do. And like I've said before, my favorite part about this is how it just stores right on my shelf and takes up such little space in my tiny house. And so after hours of spinning, I was able to create this beautiful yarn out of my Tunis wool. It's fluffy, it's pretty, it is fun looking. I love hand spun yarn that looks like hand spun yarn. I've done with my Tunis wool, I'm gonna hook it, using the other KickSpindle, I've done it thinner where it looks more like this. And even this has that sort of hand spun look to it. It's got those little tufts in it and stuff, which some of those might actually come out with some use and whatever. I just haven't like religiously picked them all out. And some of them are kind of in there. So still some fun texture, but definitely like nicer looking. So that's 2.5 ounces. I think this specifically ends up being, oh, I wrote it down somewhere. I don't remember how many yards. I got to look it back up. It's in my phone. I want to say it was like 50, 60. So when I look that up, I'll slap that onto the screen. But yes, that's what I made with my new KickSpindle. Super fun to be able to just sit side by side with a friend of mine and just spin yarn together. It was super enjoyable, and I love how compact it is. It just sits up on my shelf out of the way. I don't know what I'm going to do with this yet. I might dye it. But I do plan to follow up with another video about how I use it, how to set it up, a little more in depth about my experience with it. I couldn't help but laugh because my friend, after she came over and I taught her what I know and how to spin on that, she went and promptly bought her own. So if you're interested in a KickSpindle, I adore it. I adore it compared to trying to use a drop spindle. When I tried to use it, I was like, wow, this is actually really cumbersome to me, but the KickSpindle is so beginner friendly. Or at least in my experience, beginner friendly, because I'm a beginner and it's friendly. If you have any questions, you can put them in the comment section below and I can try my best to answer them. I'm like picking all the little flakes of dirt out of this. I had very dirty wool. I'm gonna throw the link to Eric's shop in the description box below. I don't get anything for this, by the way. I just, you know, I'm all about supporting people I like. You know, if there's something I like to share that with people. And I was sort of thinking maybe dyeing this with some kind of speckle, but I've never done that kind of stuff before. So if you have advice on dyes that you like to use specifically for wool or, you know, whatever, bonus points if it's natural, because I think that's sort of fun to source your own stuff and do that kind of whatnot, or any like recommendations for where to find like a channel or, you know, a YouTuber of some kind, something that has more information on how to do that. I'm so interested in that. So slap those recommendations down below. I am all ears. Thank you so much for watching this unboxing and this brief moment of spinning, and for coming to my channel. I appreciate all of your support so much, and I hope all of you have a blessed day. Bye.